Just before doing a marketing plan, especially, it's a must that a company carry out a competitor analysis. That's the key purpose for us when we go through our learning. But for a company, of course, competitor analysis every now and then is a definite yes. Companies go through, the brands go through various moments in their product life cycles. Every now and then, having an analysis of the competition would be great advantage to the company. Why? What is it basically? Yeah, identifying the competition, simple as that. Do we try to identify not just about what they did or what they do? We need to analyze the competition to figure out what they may be planning to do. That's important. So, our future has to be planned in a brand by taking into account the plan of our competition also. Of course, they will not tell us, but we should be good enough to guess it, identify it, see the signs of it. So, a company spends loads of time viewing, observing, noticing, taking note of what the company is up to. We go through our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats just before we get on to any kind of plan in a company. But not just our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It's better for a brand or a company to think about our competitors' strengths, competitors' weaknesses, and of course the threats or the opportunities that the competitor may face. So the SWOT of this might be applicable by us, by a brand, not just for itself but for the competition as well, to figure out how it stands, what its problems and terrors are, what its opportunities are. It's important to plan. It's important to get to know these things before we get on to planning our own strategy. Yes, competition is about learning of our market, who in the competition. Mind you, not just people in, brands in our immediate vicinity, right? We may think about brands which are beyond our range as well. We talk about that later. Yes, the competitor analysis might help us to figure out the industry trends. Is there something that the competition is interested in? Thing that we are not doing yet. So maybe they are seeing something that that's happening in the industry. So they are getting ready for it. Industry trends and the benchmarks. What are benchmarks? That, yeah, it's better to take note of the industry leader. That means in our line of business, in our line of a market, who's the best and what is he good at? Compared to his products and services and the processes, where is our brand? What about our product? How close are we or how far behind are we? Benchmarking helps to identify our strengths and, yes, identify weaknesses. What we do in competitive analysis. If I get back again to this, the market, knowing the industry trends, knowing the benchmarks for growth. Market means the competition in the market. On. Times we may think that we know a lot about our competitors, but it's always important to know more than we already know. Information changes by the day. What we know about our competition, about our market last month might not be the 100% truth even today. Things may have changed. This field is very dynamic. So We need to be dynamic in our research and our analysis as well. So before marketing, setting up a marketing strategy, as I suggested earlier, this is the step one, analysis. Yes, that will help us to identify the gaps. We can't always, compete. It's not a good idea to compete with the best capacities of a competitor. We always identify a weak spot, a gap. That's where our chances lie. Because in such a gap, we are the first mover because our competition is not doing it, so we are doing it. Analysis of the market of the competitors might help us there. And yes, industry trends, we learnt the word earlier. So what's the meaning of it? How does the industry is moving? Here, it might be better to understand the industry of our local area as well as maybe beyond the local area, perhaps a country, even beyond the country. Look at something like the restauranting industry. What's the trend in our area? Let's take candy for example. What's the trend in restauranting in candy region at the moment? Recently, there have been lots of effort at increasing the quality of the service and the quality of the ambience of the places. Almost every restaurant is spending a lot on improving the outlook of the place, the facade of it and all that. It wasn't there 5 years ago. Now it's there. Maybe it's a trend. What about the outside world? There is a trend towards more vegan foods, more the non-meat, non-fish food, right? Less processed food. So are they the trends? So sometimes a trend may not have visited our town area, our region, might be coming from other side, right? Beyond the country perhaps. Maybe it's there in bigger towns. So we should know the industry. So when you say the industry, it's not just the local, maybe national, might even be global to figure out. It's important. And yes, it's the customer is changing because competition changes, the companies change when the customer changes. So the first change happens in the customers. Then only the companies change. So we got to find out through our analysis. And there, with all this change, where is our place? That's competitor analysis. And this thing is very, very crucial. Analyzing the competition is not about studying the big boys in the industry. Smaller competitor today could be a worthwhile challenger 2 3 years down the road. So a new entrant could be a serious threat, albeit he may start slow, start small, but the size is irrelevant when we do the competitor analysis because our analysis is for the future. So today's big company may not be there few years down the road, whereas the new entrant today, small, might be a big a challenge few seasons down the road. So analysis is about analyzing both large and small. Exactly when we do the competitive analysis, take a look at this graph place. The products go through this. No product ever keep on growing. Every product has up movements and then the down movements, and then we basically reposition the product or the sort of energize the product, try to extend its life cycle, or maybe we start market it better, and then we have a relaunch. That's how a product goes up. So at different stages of the business cycle of a product, better do a market analysis because our analysis of the product today of the competitor may not be the analysis report or the analysis information that we get at a different stage. It changes. This is relevant. It's not an annual research, it's not a biannual search, it's not that. Competitor analysis is done when and if the company feels that is important. So what do we do in competitor analysis? Take a look at this. There are three kind of competitors: direct, indirect, and substitute competitors. You know about these people, right? And what do we do? Yeah, collect information on multiple things: service, reputation, marketing tactics, and there are some other things as well, not only this. And yes, study the strengths and the weaknesses of the competitor also, not just ours. SWOT has to be applied to them, not only for us. Their strengths and weaknesses might help us to discover our competitive advantage. This is how a typical analysis simple chart looks like. Reference could be different at the point of reference. Now here it's product quality, pricing, place, promotion, positioning, reputation, people. That's an important one. People means employees. So how where we stand, we have given our numbers. Comparison to us, where do others stand? So this is an objective analysis, right? That reputation, competitor one is given 10, so others, right? So ours is only 4. You work on it, right? We need to benchmark on that. And positioning, competitor one is better, whereas ours is the lowest. Promotion, ours is among the lowest. Place, there are others having better options there, right? In our case, it was not that. So, where are we finding the opening? There may be things that we may find easier to compete with the competitor, and there might be scenarios where we won't. Look at product quality, we lead, but somehow our promotion is weak, right? Having a higher product quality of 9, but the promotion of positioning and the promotion has been weak. So there lies a weakness in us. Our advantage is quality. Maybe we can bat for it. Then yes, we are all right on joint ventures. Perhaps it's a key thing. So we need to identify, right? We cannot, where the competition is weakest, that's where we have to set our proposition. What's the company weakest at? Product quality is something they were weak at. Anything else that they are weak at compared to us? Maybe the people aspect is an issue. Our people are better, whereas theirs kind of, except for competitor 2, other service staff may be not as good as ours. So it's an advantage for us, the quality and then the service. Maybe we could combine both to create a unique value proposition. Could be different, right? How we value it could be different. What's our competitive advantage? It's about what we are better at. Better to identify, as I suggested earlier, to identify the weak spot of the competition and see whether we can catch the market there. Any gaps in the market that we can employ, that means others are not bothered about, so we can focus on it. Remember this, we need to keep focus on what's happening beyond our immediate market as well. Having a focus on the competition within the closer region, within our town, may not be a sound idea. To have a analysis, right, on what happens beyond our immediate region as well, because businesses could easily transplant to some new areas, right? We may have a competitor coming from outside. We should be ready. Then why do we have the competitor analysis? Our entire marketing depends on this value proposition. Value proposition is what exactly the customer wants, customer aspires, and our conviction that we can give it. We cannot identify what the customer wants from us without doing a competitor analysis. We set the value proposition only after that, not before. Cannot assume what the customer wants. In order to know what the customer wants, it's a must that we do a competitor analysis. Then only we can figure out. Right then. So we'll take a look at some templates that could be used for competitor analysis. Now, this one we did discuss earlier. Take a look at this one. Competitor 2, 3 is their market awareness, ability to execute. So our market awareness is good, but our execution is poorer than the others, right? Our product breadth is kind of alright. Product quality is among the best. See the customer experience, we do the chats. Others do live chat also. So, what's our advantage here? Maybe the product. Our product is better. The product range is better as well as the product quality is better. So our value proposition must be somewhere on the line here. Market awareness is higher in us. So we know what the market wants and we are giving what the market wants. It's better than our competitor. Perhaps we should set the value proposition based on these two. And product breadth can be taken. Now we are the best. We are better than the competitor 2 and 3 and X. So that's how we set it up. At this, it's a template actually. It covers so much of content, right? Company specific, company information, and then the target customers, product, primary buyer, decision maker, secondary buyer, target customer, right? And then the product features, pricing, free experience, customer. You can put anything for benchmarking. You could put positioning, right? And then you do the research to identify the competitor 1, 2, 3, right, as well as you. Do the comparison to see where lies the weak point of the competition, where are the stronger points of the competition, and where is the gaps this game. Better to find our place where the competition is weak at. It's better to find our place where there's a gap in the competition. That might help us to, get the best out of competitor analysis.